100 years on, Cousin Stephen set up an adventure for us to re-ride our grandfather's motorcycle trips in Australia 100 years ago, 1926. Should be an adventure for us. See what the road's like. It's interesting starting off on these very old cobbled streets. You have to be quite careful when it's been raining. It's a nice dry day and no sunshine, so if we're really lucky we get some reasonable colour from the bike cam, which is not really set up to be a perfect bike cam. Yeah. I like going to yoga. Keeps me supple, fit, makes life a lot calmer, and it's so much easier to put the socks on, which is probably the most important part. A misty day here in Marche. It's very much an agricultural region, and you speak to the old people and they talk about how life changed an awful lot in 1962 when the tenant farmers could buy their land. Before that they were giving 50-60% of everything to the landowners, mainly the church but some noble families. So they used to be moved around depending upon how big their family was, how many people could do the work and stuff. So you didn't even own your own house. You could just get moved as was seen necessary by the landowner. But here we are, the quality of food is stunning. And as they say locally, si mangia bene, si spende poco. You eat well and it doesn't cost a lot. There's some new stuff going on just after this white fence on the right. There's a young chap who set up a microbrewery who does really nice coffee stout. Sounds strange, but well, I like it. And coming up ahead of us, the Madonna della Liberata. This is Santa Liberata. They obviously picked a glorious spot for a church. You can't see any of it now, but the mountains are quite spectacular, particularly this time of year. They've still got snow on. I might find a clip sometime of the bike heading towards the mountains. All these little, what should we say, bumps in the road, part of the adventure. So the Val d'Asso here, specialities are peaches, for which they're very famous. Pedasso onions, which are small red onions that are quite flat. And up country they have that mela rossa, red apples, which are quite small and relatively flat as well. But the tradition is you stack them sideways, put them under your bed, and then every week or so you revolve them round and they slowly go red. And there are lots of different types of fruit here. And the lovely thing is, the place I do yoga at is actually a farm. A small farm, but a farm. And so they grow lots of fruit and veg. So most of the time I go there, there's something that's been harvested that day. So not only is it 0 kilometers, it's 0 days, which is glorious. Yeah, there's very little traffic on these roads most of the time, which is nice. But when there is, it can be a tractor or a a massive lorry, so you have to be aware. Here we are down in the valley where, unfortunately, the main road has got lots of these cement warehouses and things, most of which are abandoned, and yet they still build new ones. It always seems a bit strange to me. They can't reuse the old ones. But here we are. Enjoying a quick ride down. And as the sign here says, Arance di Sicilia Rivera, which is very premium. The 0 kilometer vendita diretta. And they've obviously got a big shipment of radishes going on. Radiche. Here we are. Lovely. Ready to start the day properly. See you in a bit.